Hey guys, gonna do an install today on a F-150 and a Lariat, and we're gonna be throwing in the JBL Concert Series. Lots of comments about this, good reviews, bad reviews, and so on and so forth. I'm right in the beginning of the stage. I bought this from Crutchfield as an outlet item, 314 bucks, and did a lot of research on it. It does come with the instructions. I haven't even opened them up yet, but I've watched a lot of videos online. First thing I'm doing is running power right now. So what I've done thus far is took a drill and this spot where they want you to come through there on the firewall. Let me see if I can find it. You can see a little piece of metal running through there. I drilled a hole, stuck a little piece of metal through there. I'm gonna throw some electrical tape on that and get the power at least over by the head unit. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. But a lot of folks are like, where do I punch this through? That's where you punch it through. And then I'm gonna run it across over to the battery. One thing I wasn't aware of is when you do the install on this, the power doesn't go all the way back to the sub and the amp. It just actually ties in near the head unit into, this is the cluster that goes back to the amp. This guy here, where's the other side of this, is what plugs into the back of the head unit and ties in directly for the speakers. But a little bit further down on this, you're gonna see some tags, and these are the power wires that actually tie into the power wire that goes to the battery, so it doesn't go all the way back. The other thing I'm contemplating right now too is the instructions want you to put all the audio cables that go back to the amp on the passenger side, but getting things looped through, it's actually easier going to the driver's side. But my guess is they want you to go to the passenger side because there's probably power running down this wall, and you could get some crosstalk and some interference. So I'm gonna debate on that one and figure out what I wanna do. But let me run that power cable and I'll come back with you. Okay, power's ran. I'm not thrilled about how this is hanging up here. I'm gonna figure out a way to better secure that. But secure it over, zip tie it in, and then you can see it going through the grommet down there. I'm gonna do this in a little bit of reverse order. I'm gonna work on the pulling the head unit now. Make sure you got your tools. If you don't have them, go to Tractor, not even Tractor Supply, what am I saying? Harbor Freight, less than 10 bucks, get a whole set. So I'm gonna work on doing all the electrical stuff first before I even work on the speakers and the doors, get that sub unit in and the amp and so forth. So I'm gonna head and do that next. Okay, inside, it's pretty self-explanatory, as you know. And we've been through this in a number of videos, I know. Pop this guy off, 2 7mm. You pop that off, there's 2 more 7mm right here. And then you just start to pry off this front screen controls. And then there's 4 bolts that hold in the control unit for the radio and so forth, and the CD player. So what I did is, I already routed the cables up, and you can see the cables coming up through here. I ended up going driver's side. I looked passenger side. Holy heck, there's not an easy pathway at all without ripping half the dash apart. So I'm gonna give it a shot. I've seen other people do it on the driver's side. Feel pretty good about that. And then, like I mentioned, a couple feet down on this, you've got the power wire, which is hanging out right there by the gas pedal. And there's the wire I brought in from the engine compartment. So next step, solder those guys together, shrink tube them, make it neat, secure them, and then we'll be back. One thing I want to mention before I head to soldering is this piece here took a lot more force than I expected to pull it off. So don't feel like you're breaking this thing. I pried pretty hard on it, and there's that plastic piece underneath that keeps this pretty rigid. Doesn't necessarily allow you to bend this very easily. So good on the construction here. And you can see where the actual pins are. Probably best to try to pry like between these 2 guys to pop one of these guys off, or right in the corner here. I think I ended up getting it in the corner. I worked my way across and popped the 2 front ones, but be aware that's gonna be a pain in the tush. All right, soldering done. So took my time, got some good solder joints on these. Shrink tubed, nice good, right in the middle. Now secure these guys, and I'm gonna route it back. Probably gonna try to come over here, come down the panel, across and back. So let's see what happens. All right, cable routing is done. This is tricky, guys, because you got pedal control, you got steering, you got brake, and you got e-brake. So I took my time and really tucked things up through here. Came down through this A-post, down along here. Took everything off, and underneath here, got some retucking to do there, it looks like. And then through the back, same thing, came down through, And then you can see it popping, coming out right about there and tucking underneath here. So, and then you got to take the storage bar off. That's a 10 millimeter. That's out of there. Everyone says you can't have the mat, so I'm going to see what happens there. I'm going to try to put it in if I have to trace it, and then I can cut it. We'll see what happens. So, cabling's in. I'm not connected to the battery yet. I wait till everything's connected before I do that. I'm going to get the sub box in here. Of course, debris from kids everywhere. And we'll see what happens then. All right, box is in here. I got my mat down. I have no problem with the mat whatsoever. So I'm going to connect up the wires and then secure it down, and we'll go from there and see what happens. Now, getting the mat in and out down the road to clean it, pain in the butt. But you know what? I'd rather have the mat down. All right, let me get some light on this. So let's see. This is what we got coming back here. So we've got the from the front, what ends up being the amplified speakers coming out of the amp here over for the subs. And then we got the power coming back for the amp here, which is the black and whites. And then we got the speaker wires going back up front from the connection that we made up front to go back out to the speakers. So we don't have to replace any cabling here. So black, black, brown, and then white goes to white here. So okay, I'm going to secure this down, get some power going to it, and then probably get started on the door speakers since I tried to save the easiest for last. Talk soon. So the thing giving me the biggest problem, I did all the doors. I'm on the front doors right now, and there's two holes that these two pieces go into, and it latches on the bottom. So it kind of sits in the door like this, and I cannot get those two pieces to be in the holes and that latch to latch onto the piece of metal at the same time. There was actually one up top right here too, and me trying to force it in there actually popped right off. So I might have to pop this, at least the clip off, to get these two pieces in to hold it in place for a little bit at least. So just a heads up on that.
So hey everyone, install's done. Didn't do any final videos after the door speakers, but like I mentioned, I bought this on Crutchfield. Here's the setup here. I ended up buying the open box. I wrote up all the instructions and so forth. If down in the comments below in the description, I've posted, all my outcomes and so forth, and the reviews and all my ACM changes that also went into, have an OSB and going in and making some of the changes to the stock equalizer. So all of that's down below in the forums that I've posted live. So what changes need to be made and why we're making those and so forth as far as sound quality. So hopefully this is helpful for you if you've decided to purchase one of these units. Please hit the like button and subscribe button. And like I said, hopefully this is helpful. Thanks guys. Have a great day.